Hey guys, this is Moller from Moller Smokers, and on today's episode, we're finally gonna finish this Tanker 500 and cook some ribs on it. Welcome to Building Smokers in Europe, a series where I take you with me on the journey of building my brand, Moller Smokers, from the ground up. Step behind the scenes as I design, build, and refine the most authentic Texas-style barbecue pits in Europe. This is my daily life at the shop, unfiltered. Alright guys, on the last episode we put this bad boy on wheels and we built this firebox, which we were missing the door on. Here I got all the parts I need. Everything is stacked up. Time to weld it out. And we've got a door, guys. Everything is functional. There are stops everywhere. And I made this really cool hinge that I thought I'd do. That's what I was waiting for in the last episode. So yeah, let's finish it up. And finally, this Tanker 500 is ready for deployment. Finished all the detail work, the nameplates, the handle. You already saw the stack. I put a tell-through with a 1/2-inch eyelet. And I did some reinforcements on the frame, mostly for aesthetic reasons, but you never know. Now it's time for a good wash and some linseed oil. Check out how this thing rolls. Now that it's cleaned up, the first step is to build a big fire before putting the linseed oil in. We'll do that when it cools down a bit. And I have to say that this thing isn't even close to sealed. There's gaps everywhere and it doesn't leak. It doesn't leak on the firebox door, it doesn't leak on the cook chamber doors, and it doesn't even leak through the thermometer probe. So that proves that smokers don't need gaskets or any of that crap. Let's put the grates on, let them get some smoke. If you're into this kind of thing, you probably know that the best finish to give a smoker like this is not paint, but some boiled linseed oil. We do that after the fire is burned down, so it doesn't burn before it polymerizes. And that's what we wanted to do. So I'm gonna rub the smoker down with this, and I'm gonna leave it to dry for 48 hours. And it's done for today, guys. We'll leave it out to dry, and on Monday we'll cook some ribs on it and season the inside with beef tallow. Look at this. Look at the patina on this one. Alright guys, it's the next Monday. The linseed oil has cured. Now I'm gonna season the inside with beef tallow and do some testing. Here in Spain, biscuits are not a thing. So I bought a loaf of this crap that basically tells us the same thing. I let that first fire get really hot and die down. And now I just threw a couple of splits in. I'm gonna let them catch up before we do the test. We're rocking about 300 degrees. Let's put the bread on. Now let's shut down the lid and wait 10 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, this is what we got to cook today. We got some beef belly, which is one of my favorite cuts to do. It's something between a beef rib and a brisket. And some really poorly butchered spare ribs that I found at the supermarket for cheap. But that's the thing about living in Spain. Even the most cheap supermarket pork tastes amazing. We're doing just salt and pepper, no trimming, no nothing. It's been 20 minutes and we've been burning a slow, steady fire, mostly at 325. Right now it's dropped a bit. Let's check the results. All right, we got nice even browning here. The smokestack end. Well, this is the end cut, but everything looks even. Moving further down the line. Nice even browning all the way. Another end cut. They're dry. You see, I'm not messing with you. Yeah, not even one burnt little corner. Not even here, near the deflector. The same browning all the way. Look, here's the ones near the deflector, and here are the ones near the stack. This is why I do the straight firebox design. Now let's throw the meat on. We're going to do the belly on the second door and the ribs on the first door. Now let's close it down and check in a while. Alright guys, it's been 3 hours. We've been cooking pretty hot. Let's check these ribs. We got some really nice color. Definitely feel good. Still a little bit tough. But I think I'm gonna glaze them now and let them get tender on my way home. Alright, these ribs are looking good. Let's pull them out and bring them home. Looking good. Let's taste one. Very good. That's a wrap up for today's episode, folks. The ribs were good. Only took 4 hours, hot and fast on the smoker. I didn't do nothing special to them. And I'm really happy about how this pit turned out. It's one of the good ones. So on the next episode, we're gonna start a new project. Stay tuned for that. And if you like this kind of content, you know the drill. Subscribe, leave a comment, ask any questions you want. See you on the next one.